Hey class, today we are on lesson 16 in your grammar books on page 62. Again, we will start by writing down our two vocab words. The first one happens to be habitat. We will study this probably in depth later on this year in science, but anyway, a habitat is basically like the home in the wild where an animal can make its needs met, or it's kind of like its house. So I always say it's the home of an animal in the woods or the home of an animal in the wild. So that's kind of how I've always remembered it. So the home of an animal. In nature maybe is a better way to say it, I guess. Okay, and then the other one is habit. A wise person once told me it takes 2 weeks to develop a habit. So it's something that you can do almost without thinking, almost automatic. So I'm going to say a routine or behavior easily repeatable. How about easy to repeat? I don't know if that's going to come off the screen or not. It should fit. Okay, so both of those are something that we can at least relate to. And my habitat is my home. I hope your habitat is your house. And then habit is something that you hopefully are making good habit choices. You want to have good ones, not bad ones. But anyway, let's keep going. So I'm going to slide this off. If you do need more time or someone to go back to it, you can always pause the video. But I'm going to get started on irregular plural nouns. And you're going to say, what in the world are you talking about, Mr. B? Well, we've talked about plurals already. Frog to frogs, habit to habits, pencil to pencils, paper to paper. Now they put not frogs because that's an apostrophe S, meaning it would be showing ownership, okay, or a possessive noun. Some nouns have irregular plural forms. We must learn these. So example, the ones you want to look for are ones that add an S, SH, CH, X, or Z. So Moses becomes Moseses. Boss becomes bosses. Bush, bushes. Bench, benches. Fox, foxes. Lopezes, Lopezes. Buzz, buzzes. So you can see when you have those, you add an ES. Okay? If you add an S, if they end in AY, EY, OY, or UY. So let's look at these. These are more irregular nouns. Day becomes days. Key becomes keys. Boy becomes boys. Guy becomes guys. Okay? Then there's somewhere you change the Y to I and add ES. Butterfly becomes butterflies. Baby becomes babies. Party becomes parties. Dairy becomes dairies. Okay, so these are just some irregularly plural nouns. Okay, we'll whip over to the examples so you can see them. For A through H, so habitat would become habitats, right there. Porch ends in CH, so it should be ES. Porches, it says ends in CH. Box ends in X. Boxes, tells you why. Toy ends in OY, so it should be just add an S. Dish ends in SH, so that should be dishes. Way, ends in AY, which would be adding an S. Ways. Sky becomes skies, because it ends in a consonant plus Y, which is KY, so it's I. Change the Y to I and add ES. Supply becomes supplies for the same reason, consonant plus Y. Okay, now we will get to the practice before the review set. I will put them on the notebook right here. So we will start with letter A. Letter A. It says, Gert is trying to break the blank of chewing her pencil. So habit or habitat? I don't think you can break a habitat of chewing a pencil, so it must be habit. Now letter B. Cactus often grow well in a desert habit or habitat. Hopefully you realize that is habitat. Okay, and we have a bunch down here. Letter C. Tax becomes what? Ends in X, which is one of our special ones for irregular verbs, so it's tax is. D. Puppy ends in consonant Y, so that's Puppies, puppies. Letter E. Donkey ends in EY, that was on our page, so that means it's donkeys. Keys. Letter F. I don't know if I'll fit this in here. I'm going to try. Brush ends in SH, so it's brushes, like she brushes her teeth. Letter G. Gomez. Gomez ends in Z, so we would ask Gomez's. We'd put ES. Letter H is berry. But if I want cherry berry or I want berries, then I would change the Y to I and add ES. Tray ends in AY, so according to our rule, you add an S. J ends in CH, so it would become wrenches. Add the H. All right, now it's time for you guys to start writing. Here we go. Number 1. Canines are vertebrates or canines are invertebrates because they have a backbone. Well, if you have a backbone, it means you are a vertebrate. Vertebrates. Number 2. Spoiled milk has a foul odor. Is it the bird or a stinky one that's not pleasing to our nose? That would be foul. Number 3. The offensive or defensive basketball player guarded the shooter well. Well, if you're playing defense, that means you are defensive. Number 4. I'm going to slide this up. Number 4. Some canines bark loudly or some felines bark loudly. Well, I've never heard of a feline barking, so it's got to be canines. Number 5. Someone needs to brush that tangled mane or someone needs to brush that tangled mane. Well, one of them stands for hair, the other stands for the main road. We want the M-A-N-E. Number 6. Josh and Nate picked apples and trap fruit flies this morning, or trapped. So we first look at picked. It ends in ED, which means past tense, so we say trapped. Number 7. Last one on page 63, so make sure you're ready to turn the page in your book. Number 7. Annabelle and I will, or Annabelle and I shall be there soon. So the first parentheses is we have the word I, so according to our rules, I or we deserve shall. And then we will do the there we need. Be there soon. Be there like they're owning it, or be to a location. To a location. There. Number 8. Please turn to page 64. We never, we sometimes, we always form a plural with an apostrophe. Do we ever have a plural with an apostrophe? If a plural is showing ownership, we do, but then that would be sometimes. Otherwise, if we are looking at plurals most of the time, they are not. That's why we say sometimes. Only if it's a plural owning something. Number 9, frog is a concrete or frog is a abstract noun. Well, hopefully you have seen a frog in your life, because I've seen them quite often. Number 10, toothbrush is a compound, toothbrush is a possessive, or toothbrush is a collective noun. Well, I don't think toothbrush by itself is a collective noun, so it must be a compound noun. It's definitely not possessive. Number 11. Rewrite the following sentence adding capital letters as needed. Yes, I think John lives near the Delaware River in New Jersey. This one has 6 to capitalize. First thing that needs to be capitalized is the first word of the sentence, which is also an I by itself, so it needs it twice. Yes, I think John is a person's name, lives near the Delaware River. Delaware River. Okay, that's one, so the comma goes after that. In New Jersey, the state of New Jersey. That took a whole line. Number 12, sliding it up. Number 12, replace the blank with the singular present tense form of the underlined verb. 2 people wax cars, 1 person waxes cars. Number 13, write each action verb in the following sentence. Ellie works hard in school and helps other students. So we have 2. Ellie works hard in school and helps other students. Works and helps. Number 14. From the following list, write the word that is not a helping verb. Has, have, had, may, might, mut, can, could. Well, hopefully you haven't memorized the list, but you can recognize that one of those is definitely not a verb, and that would be mut. Number 15. I'm going to slide it up again. Number 15 says, in the following sentence, write the entire verb phrase, circling each helping verb. Mr. Buldorf has been limping since the accident. So what is Mr. Buldorf doing? He has been limping. And I believe we are following the same directions as the other day. Circle the helping verbs. Circle has. Circle been. Number 16. In the following sentence, write whether the underlined verb is present, past, or future tense. He visited the doctor on Tuesday. He visited the doctor on Tuesday. So looking at the word visit, if it was visit or visits, it would be present, but since it's visited, it is past. Number 17. Write whether the following word group is a complete sentence or a sentence fragment. Some insects are helpful. Some insects are helpful. Do I have a who or what? Insects. Do I have what they are doing? Are. It is a sentence. Number 18. Rewrite and correct the following sentence fragment. Making a complete sentence, rewrite and correct the following sentence fragment, making it a complete sentence with a $5 bill. I'm going to do a fun one. I bought candy with a $5 bill. I bought candy. Number 19. Write the simple subject of the following sentence. Kurt's sister paints colorful macaws. Kurt's sister paints colorful macaws. What is the simple subject? So the simple subject in this one is sister. Sister. Number 20. Write the simple predicate of the following sentence. Does Kurt's sister paint colorful pandas? So again, when it's a question, answer the question in your head. Kurt's sister does paint colorful pandas, and it should help you figure out the predicate, which is does paint. Kids, if you're wondering why I leave that a capital letter, is because it's an out of order predicate, and the first part of it, the helping verb, started the sentence. So that's why I write it in that fashion. Number 21, rewrite the following lines of poetry, adding capital letters as needed. Birds of a feather flock together. So the first word of the first line is birds, and the first word of the second line is flock. Number 22, write the past tense form of the verb try. Today I try, yesterday I tried. Number 23, write whether the following sentence is declarative, interrogative, imperative, or exclamatory. Do you speak Spanish? Okay, it ends in a question mark, therefore it's not going to be declarative or imperative. It doesn't have an exclamation point, so that only leaves us with interrogative. Number 24. Number 24 is we're writing the plural of each noun. So I will write the letters in here, A, B, C, and D. Letter A, key, ends in EY, so that would become keys. Pony ends in consonant Y, so I would change the Y to I and add ES, ponies. Lunch ends in CH, so I would add ES, lunches. Cherry ends in consonant Y, I would write cherries, RRIES. And now the line of doom. So we will draw a huge ant. Okay, our line of doom is an ant today. Some helpful insects eat harmful insects. So I'm looking for the action. The action is eat. And what eats insects? Insects eat. So that's the end of lesson 16. Thank you for your hard work this week in grammar. Again, have your substitute sign your notebook paper. Forgot to put 25 there. And then you guys can get started on your extra practice sheets. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and thank you for your hard work. Hope to see you guys soon.